This is WPI. We are the Gordon Library, and this is an overview of APA 7th edition. And today we'll be talking about the basic principles of APA, in-text citations, and reference list entries. What is APA? APA stands for American Psychology Association, which is a professional association for researchers working in the field of psychology. More importantly, what does the APA do? Like many professional organizations, APA helps to create unified standards for the field. Standards, in this sense, are important because they allow colleagues or future researchers to follow your line of thinking. Think of citations as breadcrumbs, or better still, a map of your writing and thought process. When should you use APA? APA is relevant for social science disciplines like psychology, political science, and economics. Because IQP research asks students to identify local, cultural, or contextual information for their projects, APA will likely be the citation format you'll be using, but we'd recommend double-checking with your instructor if there's any question about which conventions to use. The basic elements of APA relate to author, date, title, and source. The author here is considered the creator, the date is the date of publication, title is the title of the work that you're citing, and source is the location where you found it, physical or digital location. We will address the arrangement of these elements for both inline and reference lists in the next videos in this series, but for now, just understand that those are the elements you'll need to identify. Now, let's talk a little bit about using APA, specifically as it relates to commonplace types of sources or kinds of evidence. Primary versus secondary sources. While you've almost certainly come across this conversation before, it's nice to have a refresher. Generally speaking, within scholarly works, primary sources report original content. A secondary source refers to content first reported in another source. Primary sources can include all of the following: laws, newspaper reports, speeches, diaries, letters, original research. In contrast, secondary sources are one step removed from primary sources. They can cover the same topic, but add a layer of interpretation and analysis. Secondary sources include most books about a particular topic, analysis or interpretation of data, documentaries. It's also important to note that some disciplines make wider use of primary sources, like history, but as a general rule, cite secondary sources sparingly. For instance, when the original work is out of print, unavailable, or available only in a language that you do not understand. Direct quotation versus paraphrasing. Remember, a paraphrase simply restates another's idea in your own words. Paraphrasing allows you to summarize and synthesize information from one or more sources, focus on significant elements, and compare details. Authors paraphrase their sources most, if not all of the time, rather than directly quoting from other sources. In this tutorial, we will cover how to format an in-text citation in APA style 7th edition and where to find more information about generating your own APA citations. In-text citations are included in the body of the work when you quote, paraphrase, or otherwise refer to a source. Paraphrase. In-text citation should include the name of the author and the year of publication. You can choose between a parenthetical citation and a narrative citation. In a parenthetical citation, the author and year are both written in parentheses after the cited information. In a narrative citation, the name of the author is included in the text of the sentence, and the year is written in parentheses following the author's name. Page numbers are not required for paraphrased citations, but you may want to include page numbers when citing a long work. In a parenthetical citation, the author, year, and page number are all written in parentheses after the cited information. In a narrative citation, the author is included in the text of the sentence. The year is listed in parentheses after the author's name, and the page number is listed in parentheses also after the cited information. Direct quotation is used less often. Only use direct quotes if you need to reproduce an exact definition, if the author has expressed something memorable, or if you want to analyze the exact wording of something. When using quotes, provide a page number to help your reader find the information. The format of an in-text citation will change depending on the number of authors a source has. For one author, list the last name of the author and the year of publication. For two authors, list the last names of both authors and the year of publication. For three or more, list the last name of the first author followed by the phrase "et al." For sources with an organization as an author, include the organization name and date. If there is no publication date that you can identify or locate, include ND, no date. As a general rule for APA, everything listed in the reference list should be cited in the text, and everything cited in the text should also be listed in a reference list. The exception to this rule is interviews in personal communications. These types of sources are cited in text but not in a reference list because these items are not something that your reader can retrieve. To cite an interview, email, or other form of personal communication, include the first initials and last name of the person you communicated with, the phrase personal communication, and the date. In this tutorial, we will be covering the basic elements of an APA reference list and a variety of examples. APA reference list, the basics. APA citations can be divided into two main types. This video will address reference list citations. The reference list goes at the end of your work and lists all of the sources that you cited in your text. Everything that you cited in your paper should be listed in your reference list, with the exception of personal communications. In the reference list, sources should be listed in alphabetical order as well. Elements of a citation. Citations in the reference list should include information that tells the reader who created the source, when it was created, what it is called, and where it can be found. The exact format of a citation depends on the type of source you are citing, so we will go over a few examples, ranging from books to journals to web pages. Books. An APA citation for a book starts with the name of the author or authors, followed by the year of publication, the title of the book in italics, and the name of the publisher. If you are citing an ebook, please include the DOI. Also note that titles in APA citations are written using sentence-style capitalization. This means that you capitalize the first word of the title, the first word of a subtitle, and any proper nouns. All other words are written in lowercase. For a newspaper or magazine, list the author, the publication date, the title of the article, and the name of the newspaper or magazine in italics. The publication date is written as the year, followed by the month and day. If you are citing an online newspaper or magazine, include the URL. For a journal article, list the author or authors, the publication date, the title of the article, and the name of the journal in italics. For the publication date, you must include the year. You may also include the month and day if those are listed. You should also include the volume number, issue number, and page range for the article. For a web page, list the author, publication date, the title of the web page in italics, the name of the website, and the URL. Sometimes a web page does not have a publication date. In this case, write ND in place of the date. This stands for no dates. Many web pages do not list a person as the author. In this case, use the name of the organization as the author. Write the name of the organization at the beginning of the citation, followed by publication date, name of the web page, and the URL. To recap, today we talked about APA 7th edition basics. We also discussed APA in-text citations as well as generating APA compliant reference lists. And that's it. Thanks for stopping by.